Hello and welcome to Star Citizen. My name is Evenlease, and today on 10 Minutes or Less Ship Review, behind me I have the AEGIS Hammerhead, a subcapital patrol gunship. I just want to let you know, this probably isn't going to be 10 minutes or less. This ship is huge. Let's go ahead and get into it. Taking a look at the massive size that this ship is, I will let you know now that this is pretty much it's a one-of-a-kind ship. There really isn't any other ships in the game like this at the current time, size-wise, with this amount of guns and this amount of guns at this size, at least not flyable for us. There are other NPC-controlled ships in the game that are bigger, and that will be released sooner or later. That definitely will have much more firepower, but this thing is just massive and amazing. It's a great ship to have if you have a lot of people with you. There are a total of 6 manned quad turrets, so if we were to do a little bit of math really quick, that would be there's 4 size 4 CF447 Rhinos on each turret, going up to 24 of them. That is insane, the amount of overall firepower this thing can put down. Now, none of the guns are pilot controlled, but the pilot does have access to 32 size 3 rockets. They are a mix of arresters and Vipers, so pretty good rockets. A good amount of them. You just never stop firing those things. This thing is just wicked. I love the name of it, and I love how it looks. Obviously, they are one, with each other. It's a subcapital patrol gunship. This thing isn't meant to go after capital-sized ships, but more or less escort and protect them. Because look at these guns on here. Not saying it couldn't go after capital-sized ships, by the way. I'm pretty sure it could. Once again, I do all my reviews as ships are stock. So no upgrades to the guns, no upgrades to the components. So as we're taking a look at this, if you outfit your ship differently, that's great. But this thing is already outfitted just perfectly, honestly, with the guns already. I'm sure you could probably change that out, change some of the things on here, but this does carry 40 SCU of cargo, which is great, being a subcapital needing to go the distance in patrolling and escorting. This thing would be fantastic at doing so, carrying a lot of cargo on it and allowing you to bring extra supplies, as well as maybe a small ground vehicle or two. Now, it does have 11,000 quantum fuel, so wow, it can absolutely go the distance. So it hasn't really had a gold standard pass of any sort yet. There is components on the inside, but none of them are really accessible that I could find. We'll go ahead and take a look at the interior in just a moment. Right back here is where you would have your access to the cargo area. Make sure you're not standing under it. This will open up and drop down the cargo ramp. This is where the cargo would sit, or a vehicle if you wanted to bring something on here. Pretty cool. Up in there is the engineering, where all the engine, everything, the heartbeat of the ship is up there. As you can see, you can already see some of it up there, the special effects. Pretty wicked, pretty wicked. Now, you do have the exterior entrance. There are 2 of them, of course. One here and one over here. I already have this one down, so we'll go through this one. I've always thought this was a neat design choice, having this big gaping hole here, instead of filling it in and putting something else there. Let me up. Now that we're in the interior of the ship, take a look around. That way is the way to the bridge. This way is the way to engineering. So we'll head this way first, just to kind of look at things. Now, as we go through this ship, I'm going to be putting some little tidbits of camera footage of, each turret view. Starting with the one over here, as well as pretty much every other turret view on this ship. Now, this thing is just phenomenal at what it does. This is a component room here, so there would be some component access here when the time is right. You got power plants, cooling modules, engineer station, and this thing is probably going to be a nightmare to have engineering in. It's just a big ship. So having to run around everywhere and get this thing under control if you start losing systems is going to be pretty fun, if that's the way you want to go about it. Continuing down, it does say crew here. If you were to walk in here, this is where all the crew would sleep. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 beds, and then over here, you do have access to a bathroom, 1 bathroom, including 2 toilet areas with showers. And go ahead and go over here, another access to a restroom with a couple more toilet areas and showers, which is great. Always good to have. You do have your storage access here, some of it. You can go ahead and put some, memorabilia when you're sitting here just taking on the world in your hammerhead. This is a fun ship. It's... Hello? Open? Open sesame. Open, please. Okay. You see this ship a lot. Whether it's a mission to salvage it or whatnot, or you're going out there to do a bounty or a lot of bounties, or I wouldn't do like a small player bounty with this thing. Oh my god, that's blinding. This is engineering, where you go ahead and get radiation poisoning and a couple other illnesses and diseases with all of this crap flying in the air. And where you'd be to, take care of your engines, of course. And right here is the cargo ramp that we did let down earlier, so go ahead and pull this back up. Back here is access to another one of the turrets. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and move on this way. Now, I'm trying to keep these videos under 10 minutes or less, but you know how hard that would be with a ship of this size. Now, here is access to the engineering station, so if I was to call the elevator, or you can take the ladder here, because I just called the elevator to go back up. I'm going to go ahead and use the ladder. This engineering station would be where you kind of monitor the systems of everything going on down here through this terminal, of course, and all the other screens once they become accessible. Now, this is the second floor. We're already here. Might as well take a look. You will have some more component access, including your shield generators along this wall. And then if you go here, it's another crew door. This crew door is where you'd go to eat on this ship. You're going to go ahead and have a pretty nice sized kitchen with a table, some TV screens or monitors or however you want to set all these up in here, and a nice view out this window. I am always a sucker for a window on a ship, so I'm happy to see that this ship is not lacking any of that. You proceed through this door, it's like a massive pantry. It's probably a freezer and a pantry all combined in one, but you do have shelving and a bunch of access area for, setting up your kitchen for your crew. This is supposed to, like I said, escort a long distance and take care of keeping systems clear of issues with smaller ships, fighters, any breaches of territory, stuff like that. This is a great patrol ship. Now, this is the elevator on this side of the ship that goes down from this area, so we'll do that really quick. While we're moving about here, do want to let you know this ship does have 2 size 3 shield generators. They have 100,000 shield each, and it's a quadrant shield. So that's always good to have. Quadrant shield. It has 4 faces. Gives you a lot of shield per side. Honestly, that's 50,000 shield per face. That's great. It's fantastic. Another component room. This is the opposing, the opposite side of the ship. So right across on the same side is another room just like this with more access. If we were to continue on, you do have another turret access, of course, with some more escape pods. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another 4 on that side over there. It's a pretty straight hallway, so it's really nice that this is center of the ship and easily accessible. That's the elevator we just came from. And here is another turret. So go in here, and as you can see, it would take you on up. Now, if we go over here, this is the captain's quarters, as it says on the ground. And he has a generous quarters too. I can't wait to open these up and put stuff in here. It's going to be great. This is probably one of the better captain's quarters I've seen outside of the Carrack, so I love it. I wish Misk had something like this, in the whole sea. They don't have a captain's quarters. They're kind of like, you're one of the crew. Of course, already have my clothes and shoes in here. A bathroom and a bed. It looks fantastic. Not touching the toilet. That's a death trap. And a shower. And again, go ahead and open these up. And more storage area for any of your hangables, like a shirt or something. So just more and more storage all around the place. Gotta love how this ship takes care of its crew and its captain. It's pretty nice, It's got that real military vibe to it too. I don't know why, but it feels either military or insane asylum. I feel like I should be in a white padded room. Moving on. It says bridge. I do like that there is labeling so you don't get lost in your own ship. Pretty hard to get lost though, honestly. It's an oval of sorts and you would just kind of make a full circle, right? So, yeah. Continue on. You go ahead and have your access, of course, to the ship. Ramps on each side, as you can see, one over there. Now, this is that middle gap of the ship that is open to space, air, whatever it is. Moving forward, you do have access to another turret here. Front turret, front turret. I just love how open these hallways are. You know, some people could probably see this and be like, oh, what a waste of space. But no, it's not. It's a military ship. There's supposed to be a lot of room, so if you're running, you don't need to be worried about, you know, it's not like a submarine, right? You're not just stuck in a cramped area, so that's kind of nice. Turret access. It's great. Lots of room, lots of firepower. This right here is an area with more armor suit areas, and this right here is your docking collar, which is typically how you would dock to a station, as this is a massive ship. So if you are trying to dock this anywhere, it would be at the, of course, planetary stations or at Grim Hex. You can also land on your primary planets with this ship. So I'm going to go ahead and just shut this door. I wanted to shut the exterior one, but whatever. We'll get there. This is the door to the bridge, so straight off the docking collar right here. And you just use the elevator. It'll drop you down, not up. You know, it's always kind of surprising going, you know, down, not up when you're going into the bridge. But the bridge is located underneath, not above. So you get a little bit more of a different view. But it's a great view. This has a lot of window space here on the front, and it just looks fantastic. Especially where I'm parked right now. Wow. It seems like there's a lot to it, but there's really not, right? It's a subcapital gunship meant to escort or patrol, and it does an amazing job at that. We're going to jump into the pilot seat in here in just a second, but I'm just going to do a little bit more of a run through real quick. Again, 2 forward turrets, 1 right, 1 left from entering the ship, 2 forward hallways, 1 left, 1 right, and then your bridge, which goes down. From here, both hallways lead the same direction with they're kind of symmetrical, right? So you have your access area here and over there. You walk down the same type hallway on the other side. Another access to a turret with your escape pods. And then more, you know, the upper deck here. The upper deck, this leads to your crew quarter, kitchen and stuff. Oh my god, I'm like stumbling on my words right now. And then over here, as well as the engineering area. Over here, of course, like we've discussed, another turret, captain's quarters, and then you're pretty much on the other side. Batteries, components on the other side, same door over there for components. So easy access, crew quarters, 8 beds, and your cargo room with your engines and engineering and everything you need to do to take care of the ship with a rear turret on the back bottom. So yeah, that would be the interior as well as the exterior. All right, now that you're in the cockpit of the Hammerhead, you're going to see here you do have 2 MFDs up top with another MFD center that has your radar. And then you have an MFD left, MFD right. And that's pretty much that. You do have your co-pilot seat there. They'll feed you more information. Let's go ahead and turn on those engines. I have the audio turned down a bit. This area was quite windy, so no biggie. I'm going to go ahead and take off, go into an exterior view, put up that landing gear. Landing gear on this thing is huge, but it has to be, right? And they just tuck in like that. Looks fantastic. Let's go ahead and push off and get spaceborne. Now, this ship, given the fact that it is pretty much the only ship in its role currently flyable, and it does an amazing job, obviously, I'm going to give this thing a high score based off a lot of its attributes. I seriously just cannot talk right now. My brain has been scrambled everywhere. So, it's a subcapital patrol gunship with 40 SCU, 6 manned quad turrets. It has 11,000 quantum fuel. It has, I forgot to mention the health points, 295,600 health. So this thing can take a beating, as well as the 2 size 3 shields at 100k each, which is amazing. So you can take a hit in this thing and keep on moving, which is fantastic, as you'll need to. Now, you only do have 50 decoys and 24 noise. Kind of surprised the lack of countermeasures on this ship, but they're like, hey, we gave you massive shield generators and health pool, so we're not going to give you anything else. Just get hit. So use that sparingly, right? You got to make sure whenever you're deploying your countermeasures that you're doing it for the right type of missile or torpedo. I wouldn't be deploying those for the small missiles, but if you start hearing the grumble of a size 9 torpedo, you might want to deploy. This is a 10 out of 10 from my point of view here. My opinion on this ship, it is fantastic at what it does, and it is just amazing. Obviously, it's not going to have maneuverability. It's big, it's slow, it's not going to turn well, especially in atmosphere. It's not even supposed to be in atmosphere. It can be, obviously, that's where I'm at. But yeah, an amazing ship. 10 out of 10 for what it is. I cannot wait to review other ships in this class someday. I know the Galaxy is not in this class, but I want to review the Galaxy. I want to review the Perseus. I want to get on the Polaris. I want to get on the Odyssey. Oh, I cannot wait. Those are going to be the ships of the day. We just need more big ships, and more profession ships. Let me know what you think of the Hammerhead down below. I know if you've been in this game for a long time, you've probably had a ton of fun on this ship, as most people have. They've either been a gunner on it, or flown it themselves, or just taken part in something to do with the Hammerhead, or just seen it when you're going and doing your mining. It's pretty cool ship. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.